Caravanning, the joys of the open road. Now, when I say caravanning, I don't mean the tin box that you hitch onto the end of your car and go to the seaside for a weekend or a week. I mean the caravans that the gypsies and tinkers all over Ireland use the whole year round. Those pieces of superb craftsmanship. Now, where do they come from? Well, one of the places they come from is here in Castlederg. And indeed, Jim McGlynn, who makes them, is known over the 32 counties of Ireland for his work. Jim, is this a traditional family craft?
Well, my father never brought this, but I started this. When all the work on the coach building died out, I started making those caravans. You see, traps and things years ago was very plentiful in the coach building, when the horses was plentiful. But now, owing to what motors on the road, and with tractors and other things, the horse, they're not much use for them now.
But there's still a big demand for these.
There's still a big demand for these. I couldn't pull all the orders to get for them.
Now, what part of the caravan is this you're working on now?
That's what you call the turning table.
That's in the front of the caravan?
That's in the front of the caravan.
Now, how do you start building a caravan?
Well, you start with this first, with the turning table. You must start the foundation and case your axles and all before you start the body.
What kind of wood do you use?
Well, it's principally ash.
Why ash?
Ash.
Why ash?
Because it's more genuine for the job.
And last longer.
It lasts longer and it's even stronger, and you can put it in later.
Well, how do you start then on the body of the caravan?
On the body of the caravan.
Well, what do you build first?
Well, you build the body and the two sides before you put on the arches on her.
Well, now, the arches, that's the big round horseshoe shape of the caravan itself, the top of the caravan.
That's the top.
Why is it that shape?
Well, I think myself it wouldn't catch the wind or storm as much as if it was square. And there's more room in it. But you have the same circle right round, do you see?
Yes, yes.
And if you were building a square, you see, you would lose a lot at these corners for space.
Yes. And then you cover that with a tarpaulin.
Yes. That's what you cover it with.
Well, now, I notice that in this caravan you have here, there's a tremendous amount of beautiful ornamentation and lining. Who does that?
Myself.
How do you do this? I mean, it's very fine work.
Yes, it's done with what you call a lining pencil. There are a wee brushes, what they call a lining pencil for the job.
How long would it take you to build a caravan from start to finish?
Well, it would take you about 3 months.
Well, now, this finishing off of the caravan, is this a demand to have it just this way?
Yes, they must have it that way. They must have them finished up with all those lines and decorations on it.
And there seems to be a place for everything. Now, there's even a wee cage at the side of the caravan. What's that for?
Well, they tell me it's for carrying milk, bottles of milk. But I don't think they carry much milk. I couldn't just vouch for that, you know. But that's what they get it done for.
And even in the back of the caravan, underneath, there's a cupboard.
There's a cupboard.
For hold things.
For hold things. And then at the back of the caravan on the body, there's a carrier goes down for putting things on. Do you see?
That's a kind of rack.
A rack.
Yes.
You may toss the rack, it's more proper.
Now, inside the caravan, how many would it sleep?
Well, it would sleep 2.
Well, now,
the bed's for 2.
Yes. Well, now, any families of gypsies I have seen, there's more than 2 sleeping.
Well, I can't vouch where the rest of them sleeps, but I think there wouldn't be too particular good weather. They would sleep any road.
I notice even that in the front, you've got a very nice pair of ornamental doors with windows at the top.
Yes.
Now, is this the kind of thing they ask for?
That's what they ask for. It's built to their plan. I mean, what they suggest, you have to build it that way. So, them doors in the front, they open out, you see, they're for ventilation too.
Yes.
And the doors in the back opens out.
Yes.
That's the wee glass doors on the top. It's for ventilation.
Yes. How far afield would your customers come from?
Well, it comes from as far as Galway. In fact, I was down at Shannon Air Force, or at Shannon Air Place, and I passed 2 of them vans on the road outside of Limerick. I couldn't, you see them men's all over the country. But they principally come from the west of Ireland, these men that I work for.
How do you think they get to know about you?
I suppose my work tells for that. They make inquiries, do you see?
Would there be anybody else making caravans around here?
Not to my knowledge. I don't know of anyone in the 6th county makes them. I don't know of anyone. So you see, I've no great opposition in that respect.
Well, there it is. You may think that what you're towing on the end of your car is a caravan, but now you've seen a real caravan, something that takes 3 months' work of a superb craftsman to build. And Jim McGlynn is about the only craftsman in Ulster who can make them. And all over Ireland, his work is covering the roads and caravans which will belong to a family and then be passed on to their families. They're so well built. They're not making them like that now.